Hello and welcome back Plus Squad. Before we move on to this another masterpiece harem, where almost everyone is a villain, leave a damn subscribe for the love of God. We've been stuck on 750 subs since so long. Help this man out in the basement creating content. Suharu Maru falls for classmate, school idol, and award-winning novelist Shirakusa Kachi, and they develop a friendship. He is also childhood friends with the other school idol, Kuroha Shida, who had confessed to him recently but was turned down due to his feelings for Kachi. In class, he overhears that Kachi is in a relationship with Mitsuru Abi, causing him to fall into a depression. Shida arrives to cheer him up and helps to convince him to get revenge on Kachi and Abi by starting a fake relationship with her in order to make Kachi jealous and upstage them. All the while, Shida uses this opportunity to get closer to Maru and get him to eventually fall for her. Maru, meanwhile, tries to dig up dirt on Abe, but is unsuccessful as he is confronted by the man himself, who reveals he knows Maru used to be a child actor. After revealing he knows that Maru used to be a famous child actor and star of a popular soap opera, Abe continues that he inspired him to enter acting, and that his relationship with Kachi is all part of a ploy to get revenge on him after learning he liked her, planning to formally confess to her at the school's upcoming festival. Maru decides the best way to upstage him is for their class to put on a play for the festival, which he manages to convince Kachi to write, even as Shida surprisingly reveals their relationship to the class. While practicing, Maru suddenly hyperventilates and passes out. He awakens with Kachi watching over him, and when she reveals she knows he used to be an actor and asks why he quit, he reveals that after his mother died in an accident on set, their series was eventually put on hiatus, and he grew traumatized and left the scene. Kachi later proceeds to reflect on everything, unveiling that she and Maru used to be friends when they were younger, with her known to him as Shiro, as her father was Maru's co-star, and that it was Maru who convinced her to keep writing. However, after the show was cancelled, they couldn't see each other anymore, so Kachi grew bitter and devoted herself to becoming a great writer as revenge for leaving her, as it turns out that just like it is for him, he is her first love. At the start of the Confession Festival, Kachi, disguised as Shiro, visits Maru, who's happy to see him again. After she discovers he still remembers his promise to act in one of her works, Kachi unveils herself, revealing that she had felt jealous over him always being around Shida and wanted to make him notice her. She gives him support and convinces him to start being friendlier with her. As she leaves, an eavesdropping Shida confronts her, as the two girls stake their claims to win Maru. He and Shida proceed to walk around the festival, as she tearfully breaks off their relationship, giving him the push to make his own choice. During the closing ceremony, Abi puts on a song and dance routine for Kachi, which Maru arrives and upstages. As he's about to confess his feelings to Kachi, he instead reveals his initial plans for revenge, and that while he did love her, he confesses to Shida instead, who he realizes had always been there for him, shocking Shida and devastating Kachi. However, to everyone's surprise, Shida happily rejects him. Afterwards, Maru's friend Kai and Abi discuss how Abe was playing the bad guy as Kachi's fake boyfriend as part of her ploy to get Maru to confess to her. They also figure out that Shida only rejected Maru as revenge for herself being rejected and regrets it, as the two lament that everyone lost. Meanwhile, a girl watches a video of the performance on her phone, recognizing Maru. Maru continues to feel distressed over the confession failure, while the girls also distress over how everything turned out. Maru also learns Kai uploaded the video of his performance and confession, which has gone viral to his further annoyance. Damn, look at the dislikes, man. One more thing I don't get. Why the hell dislike color is blue and likes are red? Isn't it the other way around? He's surprised by the arrival of Maria Momosaka, a popular actress who he acted as a mentor to, who expresses her happiness to see him again, to Kachi and Shida's irritation. Kai later introduces Maru to Rina Asagi, a first-year and old friend of his who's incredibly helpful to them. Kachi arrives appearing to ask Maru out, only for her friend Mako Mine to clarify her father wants to see him again after hearing about his supposed return to acting. Just as Shida reappears, still traumatized over the rejection, Maru retreats into himself, hiding behind Kachi, forcing Shida to tearfully leave. Both Maru and Shida are supported by Kai separately. Maru arrives home to find Momosaka already there, having made dinner, and reveals that their agency, now run by the previous head's son, wants to convince Maru to return to acting, as well as Shida too. Just then, Shida's siblings suddenly appear, telling Maru that Shida has amnesia. After Momosaka messes around with Maru and the Shida siblings a bit before leaving, the sisters reveal that Shida has supposedly lost all of her memories since her initial confession to Maru. Despite still being hard for him to get closer to her after the rejection, he resolves to help her in any way he can. Shida herself tells him that she wants to start over so she can rebuild their trust. Kachi then arrives to give the two a ride, and sensing Shida's jealousy, believes she's faking the amnesia, so Maru comes up with a plan to test it. At lunch, he feeds her a bento with octopus wieners, as a traumatic incident in their past made it so that she's sensitive to certain tastes. However, she proceeds to eat it no problem. As the two discuss about Maru potentially going back into acting, Kachi and Kai barge in to offer their own opinions. Kai reveals that he wants to start producing videos with his entertainment club, with Kachi writing scripts, and tries to convince Maru to accept. To decide what he wants, he goes to visit the agency, with Shida, Kachi, Kai, and Momosaka accompanying him. The president, Shun Hardy, tempts them with an over $100 million deal. However, Shida still declines the offer. As Hardy continues to insist she take the deal and proceeds to insult her over it, Maru retaliates, pouring a bottle of wine over him. After Hardy threatens to report them to the police, Kachi's father and Momosaka manage to compromise by suggesting a competition. Both the agency and Maru's group, the Ultramarine Alliance, will produce a commercial for the pharmaceutical company, and if the alliance wins, they can do whatever they want. But if they lose, Maru has to join the agency. Momosaka decides to act in the agency's commercial to show off to Maru how much she's grown. Despite some initial doubts, the Ultramarine Alliance ends up winning the competition, and Maru decides to stick with them. Meanwhile, it is revealed that Shun is Kei's father, and that he started the alliance / initially became friends with Maru just to get revenge on him. After having also escaped the contract at the agency, Momosaka transfers into Maru's class, to Shida and Kachi's annoyance. Later that night, Maru catches Shida in a lie, confirming she faked her amnesia. Maru and Shida get into a fight over Shida lying to him about the amnesia, and Maru's inability to figure out why she did it in the first place. At the same time, Kachi schemes with Kai to get ahead in a race. At the Ultramarine Alliance, the boys suggest a trip to Okinawa to have some summer memories. The girls initially reject the idea of filming their swimsuits, but reluctantly give in when that's axed. Due to having to watch her sisters, Shida has to come with them the following day. Later that night, Aoi arrives to help out Maru, where she gives him advice warning him about the magic of travel and trying to hook up with someone in that environment. After Kachi checks back in with Kai, it is revealed that Rina is Kei's half-sister, who wants to keep their familial connection a secret. The group plus Momosaka's sister, Eri, prepare for the trip as Kachi and Momosaka argue about each other's cooking abilities and decide to have a competition. After they decide to have the competition be a hot pot, Kachi is depressed as she's not good with hot pots and wanted to make fried chicken, Maru's favorite food, instead. Overhearing Maru and Kai discussing his feelings for Kachi and Shida, Momosaka tries to plan a way for her to get closer. The group arrive to Kachi's family's villa where they start to relax. Meanwhile, Shida attempts to hold back her jealousy, imagining how close the other girls could be getting to Maru. He later gets a text from Kachi to see her privately at a separate corner of the beach, where she seductively shows off her swimsuit. The rest of the group proceed to spy on them and stop them before they go too far. Kachi attempts to practice their dance routine but runs into some trouble. That night, Kachi dejectedly returns to the beach, where she is comforted by Maru as she discusses about everything she is anxious about. The two nearly kiss until Maru remembers Aoi's words and stops. The next morning, Maru awakens greeted by Shida and her sisters. If you want a part 2 to these series, make sure to get us to 150 likes. Sayonara.